welcome to Dave's Orchid Oasis. It's middle of March and you know what that means. It is like peak blooming season. There are orchids everywhere, blooming, colors, smells. It is incredible. So today I'm going to show you what's blooming, give you some tips and hints and ideas on what is working and what isn't working. Let's roll. Okay, let's start big. This is a radicant. It's an Epidendrum radicant. Just to make this as easy as possible, I'm going to try to show you the tags. This sucker is huge. I mean, look at this. I've had this for a couple years. It's actually pretty rare from what I understand. Even my orchid friends haven't really seen it all that much. Usually they aren't so compact. They are a little more, Epidendrum are usually like kind of all over the place, but this one's very compact. Some sort of hybrid from overseas. The grower, Palmer Orchids, says he brought some over a while ago. Nobody really knows where it's come from, but easy, light water fertilizer, super easy flower. It's almost like you can ignore it and you'd be okay. All right, number one. What do we have here? This is a Dendrobium. I think what's exceptional about this is its remarkable color. It's a very interesting looking Dendrobium. Big blooms. Unique. I've never seen one before. And by the way, it won, what is this? First place at the Venice Area Orchid Society show. Very impressive. The secret to this guy is lots of heat and lots of humidity. If it's not like in the 90s and humid most of the year, you're gonna have a hard time growing these hard cane Dendrobium. Again, I'm trying to do these tags. So this is a Dendrobium. That's the name of the Dendrobium. Okay, here we have an Oncidium. I haven't had a tremendous amount of luck with the Oncidiums as far as getting them to rebloom, especially like this. I mean, holy moly. Like, I've never had any luck getting them to rebloom like this. If you have any tips, please show me in the comments. But this is just cool. Oh, by the way, yeah, I cheated. I just got this at the Palmer Orchids open house last weekend. So I did not grow this. I just saw it there and I'm like, that is cool. So I bought it. All right, this is another very cool one. Very, very cool. These are some of the easiest ones to grow in Sarasota, I've found. Cattleyas, something or another. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's very easy, and they always have tons and tons of blooms. I have an orange one too. So if you see one of these, I'd recommend them. I'd say this is one of the easier orchids I have, and it is spectacular. The reward is more than worth it. Okay, this is what I call a floofy orchid, right? It's big and floofy. I don't have a tag for it. I think it's a Cattleya Lakeside, possibly. Not sure, but no tag, but it looks pretty cool. I find that the really big flowers don't last as long. I also just learned this recently. The ones that have a really strong smell, most of the time don't last as long too, because in nature, if it has a very strong smell, it gets pollinated more quickly, which then makes it die more quickly, because once it gets pollinated, it dies. So I don't know if that's true or not. It's logical. I also find that with these white ones, man, it's tough to keep them pristine. It seems like there's all sort of some little bug or fungus or something, because it just takes one little spot and then it is disfigured. All right, moving on. Another Cattleya. Very cool looking. The color is very unique. I think this is one of the prettier flowers I have going right now. Hawaiian Prominence America. This is a patriotic orchid. Patriotic. I should sing the Star Spangled Banner. But again, this is basic. Cattleya, as far as growing it, I have no real tips other than just like any other Cattleya. But it is patriotic. Okay, I might be most proud of this one, of anything I've showed you so far. I've never been able to get one of these to rebloom, let alone really rebloom. There's a whole nother spike coming up here. So very happy. It is a, here. That's what it is. So I guess it's on some sort of Oncidium. I really like it. I've never been able to get it to bloom before. It's cool. It looks different than most of the things I have. I think it really likes that tree fern fiber, which I use most of the time. It's that black, the tree fern fiber. It's kind of expensive, but the orchids love it. I think that's part of it. Lots of water. That's what I did, and I got this. I'm happy with this one because this is a species. This is not a hybrid. This comes straight from nature. I don't know its name. I looked it up. I forgot to write it down. But if you don't know what your orchid is and it flowers, go to download the Google app. You can hit the Google Lens, L-E-N-S, and then you take a picture of your flower. It smells good. You take a picture of your flower, and then Google will like search the internet for flowers that look similar, and it's amazing. Like, it's incredible how quickly it can find this stuff. So like I said, I just took a picture of the flower, I put it into Google, and I found out right away what it was. I just forgot to write it down, so I just have to do it again. Okay, this one has a cool story behind it, which I did not know until I went to the Orchid Society meeting. So this is a species. Oh, that's the wrong name. It's a Grania, that doesn't even help. G-U-A-R-I-A-N-T-H-E. Okay, so this is a species. This is from nature. And almost every Cattleya that you see that's a hybrid that's either orange or reddish comes from this. Like, usually somewhere in the hybrid's heritage, this is like the great-grandfather of most orange and red Cattleyas, which is cool. I did not realize that until the smart guy at the Orchid Society told me. And this thing is blooming like crazy. It's super happy. I don't have any other tips except I was hanging it, right? So no media, just hanging in the clay pot. Water it, not too much, not too little. Okay, so what's unique about this one? It's pretty just like all the others. You able to see that? So it is a hybrid. Oh, it won an award from the American Orchid Society. Anyway, why this is so cool is it never stops blooming. Here's another unique one. I just got it at Palmer Orchids, so again, I cannot take credit. I just got it this weekend. But this is what's called an Epicatleya. So it's an epidendrum and a cattleya mixed together, which is pretty rare. I don't see it very often, but so that's kind of a cool flower. So if you know what an epidendrum looks like, oh, this is what an epidendrum looks like, right? In its purest form. So this is this together with a cattleya. Pretty cool. But like I said, I just got this and I don't know what's gonna happen. It should grow pretty easy because epidendrum are super easy and the flowers are cool. And like I said, I don't know that much about it except it's a cool cross between two like totally different kinds of orchids. I think this is very easy to grow. Some sort of vandaceous type of orchid. I don't know, water, food. I water this every day. Remember, my water has food in it all the time. Just a little bit of fertilizer all the time. So this gets fed a tiny bit every day, just like it would in nature. And it gets watered every day, like a Vanda would in nature if you look at where their habitats are. So it's happy and it grows. I mean, when I got it, it was little. I mean, this thing is going crazy. Okay, now I'm gonna just start showing you some cool Vandas. So this is one of them. It's just a Vanda, but it's cool. It is, I mean, there are so many Vanda hybrids. It's almost like, I mean, like thousands and thousands. So it's probably be hard to find this exact hybrid, but there's lots that kind of look like it. But it's like a leopard, a lion. It looks cool. Cheetah. I believe the technical name, the scientific name for this one is white Vanda with yellow in the middle. That's the scientific name, and that's what I'm gonna call it. Vandas, they need water basically every day. Again, they like fertilizer. Look at those roots growing. How cool is that? That's a happy Vanda. Depending on how like long the green part is, shows you how quickly it's growing. So it looks like these are growing pretty quickly. That's fun. Look at that little sucker. So again, white Vanda, lots of water. That's key, and lots of light. They like lots and lots of light, water. All right, you ready for this? Cool. I call those purple flowers. Look at this. Look at that. That's crazy. That looks crazy on camera. There's more growing on here. This is what you call a massive, massive root system. I'm not really sure why the plant's not that big. I don't know. If there's something going wrong, I guess. Maybe not. But the roots are crazy. I mean, really crazy. It is... Now, I mean, when I got it, it was big. I mean, not this big, but it's not like I grew this from seed or anything. But, can you read that? You can read that. That's what that is. Look at that. Orchids are a lot of fun. Okay, I have a tip for you guys, and this is gonna be painful. But this is a Vanda. It's not a very happy Vanda at all. You can see that there's like, they call this a palm tree Vanda for obvious reasons. It looks like a palm tree. So a lot of dead leaves. It probably has some sort of fungus or disease. Not happy. Anyway, I might even give this to somebody. I don't want it. Anyway, I find a lot of people, they wait too long to either get rid of an orchid or give it to someone else. But this is still growing. It's a tough call, right? It's still growing. There's no new roots. Anyway, you see how it's like half dead? Or it's on its way out? I know this is painful to hear, but you really should probably cut this, right? You can put in a glass of water if you want to watch half dead flowers for a while. But as long as these things are alive, it's sucking energy out of the plant. So if you cut this, the sooner the new flowers are going to come. So I'll probably cut this today if I get around to it. I'm sorry. I think Encyclias are really underrated. There's not that many kinds, like at all. So I think, you see that? How cool are my tags, by the way? All right, so I think Encyclias are really overrated. They have these bulbs, they have these long spikes with these unique flowers. You don't see many of them. They really thrive in my climate. I don't know if, so if you're around the Sarasota area, these things go pretty crazy. I'll have some of them where the spike is just like 2 or 3 feet long. And you have these cool flowers that last a long time. Very easy. So if you don't have an Encyclia, look into it. Might be worth your while. And it smells good. That's an added bonus.